Hello, all my dear student friends. Welcome to this session. We are studying the subject power engineering and refrigeration. We are studying the gas turbines, and in the gas turbines, right now, we are studying the rocket engines. We have studied the jet engines, and now we are going to study the rocket engines. So, this rocket engine is that engine in which we are not using the air or oxygen from the atmosphere. We are using the stored oxidizer, and the stored fuel is of course used. The oxidizer may be solid or may be liquid, but the oxidizer is either previously mixed with the fuel or it is mixed with the fuel during the process, and the combustion takes place. So, these rocket engines are of two types: solid propellant rocket engine and liquid propellant rocket engine. So, in case of the solid propellant rocket engine, we are using the solid propellant. The solid propellant or the propellant charge is nothing but the mixture of the oxidizer and the fuel. So, this mixture is present in the solid form, and it is present in somewhat cylindrical shape. So, this is a cylindrical shape, and it contains the propellant charge, and the propellant charge is nothing but a mixture of the oxidizer and the fuel. So, this is the combustion chamber in which the propellant charge is present. So, the space of the combustion chamber is completely occupied by the propellant charge, and the propellant charge consists of the mixture of the fuel and the oxidizer in the solid form. So, solid propellant rocket engines are also of two types. One is the restricted burning type, and other is the unrestricted burning type. So, in case of the restricted burning type solid propellant rocket engine, the shape of the propellant charge is cylindrical, and it is such that the only end can burn. So, it can burn at one end, and it will go on burning from this end to that end slowly and continuously. So, it burns like the cigarette from this end to that end. So, the burning is restricted. The surface cannot burn. So, the burning is not possible at the surface. Burning is possible only at one end. So, say this end of burning will start, and this burning will proceed in this direction till the complete propellant charge is burned. And at the other end of the cylinder we have a nozzle. So, the burning results in the exhaust gases, a large amount of exhaust gases, and these exhaust gases, they leave the nozzle, and when the exhaust gases leave the nozzle, they have very high velocity, because in the nozzle the pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy, and when these exhaust gases leave the nozzle, the jet of the exhaust gases leave the nozzle at very high velocity, the thrust is provided to the vehicle in the forward direction, and thus the propulsion of the vehicle takes place. So, the solid propellant rocket engine consists of the propellant charge in the solid form and in the cylindrical form, and it can burn at only one end, and this burning will continue from one end to the other end so only one of the end can burn, and the burning is restricted. It cannot burn along the other surface. The cylindrical surface cannot burn. This other end cannot burn. Only one end can burn, and this burning proceeds. So in case of the restricted burning rocket engines, solid propellant rocket engines which are restricted burning, you will find that since the burning is slow, you will find that the thrust obtained will be small. Thrust obtained will be small, but the thrust obtained will be for a long time. Since the burning is slow, it will continue to burn for a long time, and therefore small thrust can be obtained for a long time in case of the restricted burning type solid propellant rocket engine. Now other type of the solid propellant rocket engine is the unrestricted type. So this one is the unrestricted type solid propellant rocket engine. So the shape of the propellant charge here is also cylindrical, but it is a hollow cylinder, right? The propellant charge is having the shape of a hollow cylinder, and in this case the burning is not possible at the ends, but the outer surface as well as the inner surface can be burned. So the large surface is available for burning. The outer surface of the cylinder as well as the inner surface of the cylinder can burn. So the burning is almost unrestricted. So it is called as the unrestricted burning type solid propellant rocket engine. So here you can see that this is the propellant charge in the form of a hollow cylinder. You can see this hollow cylinder, and this propellant charge which is having the shape of the hollow cylinder can burn from the outer surface as well as from the inner surface, and therefore the burning is fast, and due to fast burning of the propellant charge, the thrust obtained is large, because large amount of exhaust gases will be obtained at a large pressure and a large temperature, because it will have lot of heat energy and pressure energy, and that will expand in this particular nozzle, and due to the expansion a very high velocity jet of exhaust gases will leave the nozzle, and it will provide the thrust in the opposite direction, that is the forward direction, and that will propel the vehicle in the forward direction. So this is nothing but the unrestricted burning type solid propellant rocket engine, and this is the restricted burning type solid propellant rocket engine. So this is the propellant charge in the form of cylinder, and it is present in the combustion chamber. So it can burn at only one end, and the nozzle is present at the other end. So this one is nothing but the unrestricted burning type solid propellant rocket engine, and here it is also having the shape of the cylinder, but the shape is like a hollow cylinder, and it can burn along the outer surface as well as the inner surface. So this is the propellant charge in the form of the hollow cylinder. These ends are prevented from burning, but the inner as well as outer surface can burn. So it burns on inside as well as outside cylindrical surface. So this was about the solid propellant rocket engine, elements of the solid propellant rocket engine. Now let us study the liquid propellant rocket engine. So these are the various parts of the liquid propellant rocket engine. Liquid propellant rocket engine is also of two types. One is pump feed type and other is the pressure feed type. So first of all, let us study the pump feed type liquid propellant rocket engine. So in case of the liquid propellant rocket engine, the fuel is present in the liquid form in the tank, as well as the oxidizer is also present in the tank. So this is a tank which contains oxidizer, this is a tank which contains fuel, and the fuel and oxidizer can be supplied to the turbine from this tank, and these two pumps are available for pumping the oxidizer and the fuel. So this pump will pump the oxidizer inside the turbine, and this pump will pump the fuel inside the main turbine. But the feed or the flow of the oxidizer as well as the fuel to the main turbine is controlled by the propellant control valve. So this propellant means the mixture of oxidizer and fuel. So the flow of the propellant will be controlled by the propellant control valve, and thus the combustion in this particular main turbine will be controlled and the thrust will be controlled. So this is the main turbine, and in this main turbine there is a combustion chamber and there is a exit nozzle. So in the combustion chamber the oxidizer is pumped and the fuel is pumped, the flow is also controlled and the fuel is ignited. Then the combustion takes place, and due to that high temperature and high pressure is produced, and this working substance which is having large amount of energy will expand in the nozzle, and the exhaust gases will leave the nozzle at high velocity. A high velocity jet will leave the nozzle, and due to that the thrust in the opposite direction, that is forward direction, will be created. Now for operating the pumps we are having a auxiliary turbine. So this is a auxiliary turbine which operates the pump, both the pumps, the pump for the oxidizer as well as the pump for the fuel. But for the auxiliary turbine again we have the separate tank of oxidizer and fuel, and there is a combustion chamber. So the oxidizer will enter inside the combustion chamber, fuel will also enter inside the combustion chamber. There will be combustion taking place in the combustion chamber, and expansion will take place inside this particular nozzle of the auxiliary turbine, and the jet will be exhausted, and due to that this turbine will produce some power. So this working substance, which is nothing but the product of the combustion of the oxidizer and the fuel, will expand in the turbine, auxiliary turbine. So this auxiliary turbine will produce some power, and that power is utilized to operate the pumps, both the pumps, the pump for the oxidizer of the main turbine and the fuel of the main turbine. So in this way the pump feed type liquid propellant rocket engine works. Now let us go to the pressure feed type liquid bipropellant gas pressurization system. So let us now study this pressure feed type liquid bipropellant gas pressurization system. So this is the pressure feed type system, and it is a liquid propellant system. So in order to create the pressure inside the system, the inert gas is stored in this particular tank. So this is the inert gas supply, usually nitrogen, and it is at a higher pressure, and this gas is allowed to enter here in this particular system, maybe the fuel tank and the oxidizer tank. But the flow of this high pressure nitrogen gas is controlled by the system energizing valve. So this system energizing valve will control the flow of the high pressure nitrogen to the fuel tank as well as the oxidizer tank, and due to the flow of the high pressure nitrogen gas, the fuel will be pushed, or the fuel will go from the fuel tank to the turbine. At the same time, due to the same pressure of the inert gas, that is the nitrogen, the oxidizer will also pass to the turbine, but the flow of the fuel as well as the oxidizer towards the turbine will be controlled by the bipropellant control valve. So bipropellant means here this propellant consists of the fuel as well as the oxidizer. So initially they are separate, they are stored in the separate tanks, and separately they will enter inside the combustion chamber of the turbine, and there the combustion will take place, and due to that the high temperature, high pressure gases will be produced. These gases will expand in the nozzle of this main turbine, and due to expansion we obtain a high pressure jet, high velocity jet, and that will provide a thrust to the turbine, to the vehicle in the forward direction, and in this way the vehicle will be propelled in the forward direction. So this is the construction and working of the pressure feed type liquid propellant system, and the pressurization is done with the help of the gas. Therefore it is called as the gas pressurization system, and it is the liquid bipropellant system because here we are using the two propellants. The propellant consists of fuel and the oxidizer. So the fuel tank is separate, oxidizer tank is separate, and in this way this pressure feed type liquid propellant system is working. So thank you my dear friends.